And I am Commander Cockins. Welcome back.
Well, I said you were Commander Cockins. Don't you understand Breen?
Oh wait, which dialect were you using? The northern or southern?
Northern, of course.
Oh, I was using southern.
Canadian. Well, northern, right? Like, dude.
Look, we in the south, like, you know. Sorry, yes, and I'm Commander. He's Captain Foley. He's Breen, Uncle Foley, of the 5th Rigelian Squadron, whatever they said. Stuart Breen. We got a lot of Breen in a lot of flashbacks. Now, it's fair to say, Stuart, this is not actually a giant twist because we picked up on them mentioning Breen constantly and noting Locke's face thingy. So, you know, a payoff only works for the setup, right? So I think we were all thinking he could be. So I didn't get a twist vibe, but like, okay, cool. Fair to say, Stuart?
Fair to say, 100% yes. It was interesting with the solid forms, though. And it even brought up with the uncle saying, well, if this is part of us, this is how, why can we do this? Because his uncle made the point of saying, this is Breen. That's not. It's like, nah. So we learned more about the Breen.
Yeah. You know, a very limited yet used species, and that we know the look, we know the ships, and also we know their noises, but who really they are, this is one of those big mysteries. Now, maybe you could say, if you really want to retcon this in some way, that genetic engineering, they change themselves over the 600 years to be a little bit different to how they own TNG, DS9. You could do that, or this is just how they looked. Personally, though, Stuart, I'm fine with it. I was pleasantly whelmed.
Well, exactly, yeah. It's always been a mystery. Now we know. Anyway.
Yeah. Discovery has a habit of doing some odd choices, and I was pleasantly whelmed. But Stuart, let's do some pretty deep dive comparisons, because obviously we've got them. So this is the classic Breen, simple armor, helmet, very reminiscent of the Star Wars
Bosk,
like very close.
Bosch, the bounty hunter lady.
Yeah, very similar, presumably intentional in a referencey way. Or they had the same molds they bought and they didn't. But it's even the suit's a little bit similar. But anyway, I digress. Here, so we've got a lot to break down here, Stuart. So this is the original unit and kind of a samurai-looking unit from this view. Thoughts?
Yeah, I actually really kind of liked the new look. They maintained the green eye and also the things on the side here, very reminiscent of. So I kind of like it. It's 900 years later, or 800 years later. It's fine as far as an upgrade goes. Plus, the lines on the shirt. I didn't realize that until this side-by-side comparison, but they definitely maintain that look.
Yeah, they've changed. They took a wheel. They changed everything about the wheel, but kept all the wheel shapes, which is a good visual update because obviously, unlike other discoveries, it actually is the future, so it could be wherever it is. I think it's lost a bit of its personality.
A lot of its personality.
Okay. Yeah. Yes, I would agree. But the classic one is distinct for a reason, right? And we've known it for a long time. This new one is far more like a warrior exosuit, very similar to the new Dune suits from the original film's flash forwards. It's, you know, without doing a literal one-to-one clone, it's going to be potentially more basic. But it looks good, but it's less interesting.
Yeah, it's very generic sci-fi or game enemy kind of thing. I wish they had maintained a little bit of the snout.
Yeah,
not as long, but just a little bit.
Yeah, I think that's the big thing I'm missing too.
But I do like the looks of them. Like, they're good soldiers.
And I really do think it's too sleek. I really would have liked if the green line, had been protruding in a deliberate way, versus because it now feels like a neon strip versus a visor. For me personally, I think that's just too crisp perspective thing. But yeah, the costume's great. I love it's obviously an update, and I really like the neck piece. I think when you lose the snout, you then see the neck. So they thought we got to put something there.
Well, they did maintain, like in the next picture, you can see they maintain the grilling on the front, which is similar.
Yeah, so this is a beautiful high-res picture. I mean, great texturing. It is the same thing but different, right? But it also is too curved and organic, and it's just not quite as interesting. Oh, this would be great. It's like a Stargate villain in a good way. Like it. I wouldn't even say necessarily villainous looking. I'm a bit bold to say, but I always found the Breen to be menacing. This feels like a generally quite good looking exosuit. But I could see a friend wearing this and not thinking much of it. Do you know what I mean? Have they lost some intimidation to you?
I would say so, yeah. Yeah, there's something to be said about even the uniforms of the other one, where it's kind of like the epaulets and stuff. Like they feel more militaristic. Yeah.
Next shot though, close-ups. Now this is obviously, yeah, this you can see their attention to detail, because yeah, all the grilling remains, just in different forms.
Well, yeah. They didn't do any. Well, they kind of did on the top, maybe a little bit, but yeah, the rest of it you can see where they took the original and just sleeked it out.
Well, I think I am missing that middle line.
Yeah.
Because every small thing adds character. Because that could have been like a rank braid. Could have had a bit more uniforms, but you could have had like how long it is, be a different rank. So a general would be a kind of, because this is a general actually in DS9, and I know what they went for by swapping the exterior, let's say breathing tubes, whatever, to being gold, but I think I prefer the black of the original and the gold of the middle. I think that color balance works better than the gold of the other. It feels too ornate, but obviously if it feels black, you get lost in how dark the set is. So I see why it's not black, but I don't like the gold as much. It feels more just like a vanity piece. What do you think?
Well, plus they took the gold away from the center strip, so I think they just wanted to incorporate that gold color into the ones on the side instead. It does feel a little ornate, but I think it's a good progression for the 800 years of tech. It almost seems too much has remained. You'd think in that amount of time that there wouldn't be as many similarities, but
I mean, there's something to be said for, this isn't just an exosuit, it's as in the original version from DS9, it's a appearance they want to present to the galaxy. Like, this is their look. Otherwise, they could have hundreds of variants of this in DS9. You got the more military guys, the scientist guys, or this is the persona they're giving to the universe. So by keeping that, it's them saying, well, this is who we are now, but we're still Breen, So that's always the thing about too similar, too different. The next view, though, just for a little comparison, because we do get a really clear dark, and I've brought everything up. On the left, though, is the higher-end officer. I wanted to highlight the potential, if there's a uniform difference between because he's royalty, like proper high-end, although not of the entire Imperium, just of his subset, but a higher up. And then on the right is our normal guy, just to compare what the differences are. It might just be the cloak and belt, but cloak and belt.
Yeah, and nice little touches as well, which I didn't notice. So, and also the raised like shoulder things.
I think that's the cloak. That's obviously adding epaulety vibes, but I think it's all connected. Yeah, it adds a lovely bit of pomp, but not. Next shot though, now this was always a thing. Look, Stuart, in DS9, the first time we see them, before they were like proper aliens, conceptually, they were just suits, they could take their face plates off. And I think people realize in later canon, it's like, how could you do that if they're aliens? But Stuart, I think, have answered that by saying they're not really aliens, they're people with masks. You know what? I like how this works better for me now. So I want to bring this up because it's such a moment in DS9.
Yeah, when we were looking at the first picture, I'm thinking, where's this guy's eye line? It's below the green thing. The new ones bring it right down to so it feels more human, whereas before it could have been not human. So this shows it perfectly, because there's like a black strip right under there where the eyes are that you can see through, but you can't see in. You can see through from the inside. You know what I mean? So
yeah, that's a great way of saying it, actually. Yeah, just change the proportions, makes it feel more alien, less sleek.
We were always wondering what they look like. So yeah, it didn't feel like if their eyes were that high. But then when you see them wearing them as disguises, it's like, okay, so what's going on?
Yeah, it was a strange canon thing. Like, how are they just ripping them out of the suits and then putting the helmets on and they fit? I'm actually fine with it now. Poor Gold Got actor. He had been full makeup and then full costume on top of the full makeup. It had been 2 alien makeups in one. Which is great. Although they didn't have to. Although his neck fit in there. Yeah. They had to build a different neck piece for him, didn't they? Because his neck is so bigger.
It does look like it actually pushes up where his ribs would be. So
they had to think about that because like his neck is not his neck. His neck. Anyway. So I like this, and in fact, this version you can see there is actually neck lining, which is in the other version to some extent. But we can see from the shot there's always a mouth thing. So yeah, this I like better. Cool, happy with this. Good retcon. And here we go. Here are the actual Breen. Thoughts?
The gelatinous Jello mold Breen. I think it looks cool. I don't know why this is. We've heard that the Breen world is cold. Okay. Going back to what the uncle said, this is Breen, and he's like, well, if that's the case, then why can we do this? And then he changes to his solid form, and it's like you can't ignore one and be truthful to ourselves, kind of thing. Yeah, it's weird. We still need to learn more about them. Are they like changelings? Do they have like when they're at home? Do they all just the whole family jump into a pool together and like merge together? I don't know.
Yeah, I hope not, because that's certainly not what we've felt from them before. He does say explicitly we've evolved past the need for the form. So I'm assuming the body is so malleable and the abilities of having this level of organic freedom, maybe for sensory input and for seeing more and processing stuff and metabolism evolved, and then they can harden their skin to deal with the cold weather, which I think that relates to it. The armor allows them to be in the cold weather without worrying, and the hard face you can do as well. But then like I said, it takes so much of your focus that you can't be even half of your full ability, which also explains why Locke is kind of like very static and slow and considered.
It's funny because when he first stepped up in this suit with the way he was moving, I knew 100% it was Locke, like instantly. Before the reveal, just because of the way he moves, it was just so yeah.
He's a bit swagger, but it's cool. It's different. It's hard to relate to, which is good. It should be. It's a Breen, and I like the sensors and the way the helmet is kind of attached, and it's clearly giving them more abilities in terms of like Joy's visor and stuff. Yeah.
Now this image with the true Breen on the left and the other one on the right,
yes,
is interesting because the one on the left is the uncle. He's the higher rank, and you see the difference as well in their neck pieces, which I didn't notice before. Quite unique. It's got the low dip there, and then also goes down lower. So wanted to point that out as well.
Yeah, I like both the designs. I thought Locke was a good makeup anyway, and hardened skin works for me. It's weirdly simpler than it could be. It's like, oh, okay, you know what I mean? Like we're whelmed. Okay, cool, yeah. But they're still just bipedal aliens, but they can also make their faces stronger. And this is the buffet picture.
It's funny because the future suit here, like the Discovery present day one, feels like it could be like a ground soldier, whereas the DS9 one would be the higher up generals with the more extravagant suits. A little bit like they could fit in the same timeline, but
yeah, actually,
or the same era. I mean, so. But no, it's interesting to learn more about the Breen. I still have a lot of questions, obviously. Will they get answered? Probably not, but that's okay. Always have some mystery would be nice.
Although, still a full CG face, because you could see he was distorting in a CG way. It's fine, just not a real face.
Oh, yeah. I thought it looked cool, though.
Yeah. Not even necessarily that expensive. It's just a motion capture. Like I said, I'm thoroughly whelmed. And that's pretty good for Discovery.
But were you overwhelmed? Let us know in the comment section what you thought about the Breen.
I'm excited.
Yeah, let us know your comments. That's what the comment section is for.
Yes.
Be nice to each other, but we want to hear your thoughts on the Breen. And if you have any answers to any questions from books or anything, throw it down there. We all want to know. Also, hit the like button. And make sure you subscribe to the channel with the notification bell icon clicked, so you don't miss any of our content.
And of course, Stuart, as you know, as they know, you can support us directly via joining the channel on YouTube or Patreon. The same, but different sides of a supporting us coin, and we love them, we need them, thank you very much in advance. Or one-time helps via Super Chat, our live, Super Thanks, just like Super Chat, but on on any video, Super Thanks. Or PayPal, trekyards@hotmail.com, or just, sending us money in the post. Somehow. Ask your local Breen, here's where we are.
So anyway, guys, until next time, he's Commander Cockings.
He's Captain Foley, the Breen Master. What he said. Bye, guys.